Yeah. I think Houseplant and some others have suggested something like that, where you pick three factions and you have to put them in order. And I might actually end up doing something like that because that may be the way to go. The lists, guys, I like the round robin as well. I mean, I like it because best of ones don't make the elimination
Yeah.
certain, but round robin, the logistical annoyances of it are major, man, absolutely major. So definitely need a third person next time.
Okay. So, if we look at the builds, it's the same thing that we expected
Mhm.
because they have one list, they have one build. They have,
There it is, guys. You've seen it
yeah.
again and again. By the way, arrow to the knee, that might be the way to do it. I think that's right, arrow to the knee. That might be the way that I do it in the future. Round robin into single elimination. So let's see here. So before they had a little bit of protection beforehand. When I was talking about how to use the giants, to protect the flanks, that that made sense under those circumstances in which the archers didn't have a clear field of fire over the hill to shoot the giants as the Grail Knights engage the flank. But now, as this map is incredibly flat, as you can see, I think that that strategy is not going to
No,
be nearly as useful.
it's not gonna work. And even in last game, the Bertonia was not gonna go towards the hill, so I don't think it
Yeah.
would have applied either.
Yeah, true. I mean, if maybe possibly Panda Warrior got overly aggressive with his Grail Knights, we might see something like that. But it proved that he did not get overly aggressive with them, and so managed to hold out.
Okay, the Doom Diver is safe though this time. I
Yes,
think
yes,
he
it
learned
is.
from last time, maybe.
Yeah, don't put them out there, guys. Don't put them out there. They will surely die. They will surely die. If you put them out in some random goddamn corner where the air cap can just come in and ruin
Yeah.
them. Um, so yeah, absolutely ruin them.
Yeah, I mean, especially because, okay, if you have like a really good cap force, like you have a ton of Orc Boar by Biggins,
Sure.
maybe you can afford that, but he just has two Wolf Riders, which can do nothing against the Luan.
Yeah, can't do anything against the wand. Don't, I mean, they have mobility, yes, but, I mean, here, this is one of those few times, I think one of the very, very few times that a Bretonia should actually be aggressive and should look maybe for the surround to be able to get into the back of these orc units because the orcs will definitely not have the mobility available to protect their backs, especially if he decides to commit these giants into the fight.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't necessarily need to do that. Again, he
Yeah.
can just use Luan.
And
Hmm.
what in the hell is going on here? The Doom Diver once again kind of just deciding to shoot at the Peg Knights as opposed to shooting the black. I mean, as opposed to shooting the likes of the archers. And of course, the Doom Diver's not doing too terribly much to the Peg Knights. A little bit of damage here and there, but I don't think enough to really call it worth it.
Oh, goodbye, Wolf Riders.
The Wolf Rider's about to go down here. Luan Leonka getting shot by a couple arrows here. Not exactly sure how useful that is going to be. A little bit of damage that Luan will quickly regen away.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good target. If you kill the Wolf Riders, there's nothing that the Greenskins can do against the Bowman.
Yeah, truly. And so I think that's probably why, and I think a good choice, that the Doom Diver is currently targeting the Bowman. He should have been targeting the Bowman from the very beginning, because I think he probably would have been able to very easily break at least one unit of Bowman before they managed to get in line with these Black Orc troops.
Yeah. Here comes Luan again from the rear.
Yeah, Luan being real pesky back here. He knows that the Air Boys really can't do enough to kill him, and so is going to continue trying to cycle charge. Of course, the Black Orcs kind of giving him pause just a little bit there. Some idle Pegasus Knights, they don't need to be in the battle, and they don't want to get shot up by those archers either. A little bit of Spirit Leech, I think, up against Luan Leonka. I don't think that was the right... Maybe he should have saved that, but he did have maximum mana, so he might as well just use it while he still has it.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, he's not gonna fate of Yuna, the Spearman at Arms or something.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
That is true. That's exactly what I was thinking about. I'm like, oh man, he could totally Fate Abuna some of those infantry.
Yeah.
And then I realized those are not great swords, but in fact, peasant spearmen.
Pegasus Knights, though, he can use that on.
Yeah, great use of Fate Abuna, because they will almost entirely kill that unit of Pegasus Knights, or at least will do half damage at the very least. The Giants, by the way, clearly and very wisely staying out of combat here. Doom Diver still shooting the archers. A single unit of archers about to rout now. Loenka continuing to take pretty significant damage due to that Spirit Leech, but I mean, we'll see if it actually keeps him out of the battle. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, quite fast enough. You see the pretty good micro of the Goblin Wolf Riders here to send him in the back, but then bad micro by just letting him sit there and get charged by both Grail Knights, Damsels, and Paladins.
And they're also dead over here. Essentially, orcs have already lost their left flank. Luan is going to kill that orc boys. The Wolf Riders are dead because of the Grail Knights as well. So all the cav is off the field right now for orcs.
Yeah, they certainly are. And of course, the archers are backing up and are going to continue to be able to harass these Black Orc lines as they fight the spearmen. The spearmen also not actually falling particularly fast. Yeah, here's actually, there goes some morale for the spearmen. Luan Leonca going to be able to get into the back to those air boys. And like you were right, man, there is not much left in the backfield for the orcs and goblins here. And so the Grail Knights have free reign.
Oh, that rear charge onto the Black Orcs is going to be massive.
It is going to do very, very significant amount of damage. I would say the Black Orc should just turn around and not fight the Spearmen, but instead countercharge the Grail Knights, but that was not the case here. Still, fire pouring in from these archers onto the infantry units of the Orcs. The infantry units of the Orcs, of course, winning their land battles for the most part, but where the Grail Knights have charged in, the Black Orcs are struggling, and that amount of archer fire is just atrocious.
Yeah, I mean, even against Black Orcs, which have a lot of armor, eventually the missiles will tear them down.
Yeah, if you have enough missiles, I mean, it will, if archers works against dwarves, they will certainly work against Black Orcs.
Yeah.
We talked about the danger of these giants, but I think maybe Riggs he feared the effect of the archers maybe just a little bit too much. I mean, at least if these giants were in the battle, the archers would be focusing them as opposed to focusing his Black Orcs, which are honestly more important right now. Or at least he could be using these giants to kind of head off these rear charges by the Grail Knights. But instead of doing that, he's kind of just sending his giants willy-nilly after the archers and allowing his more important land troops to get rear charged to hell, man. Just out of this world rear charge.
Ooh, those Grail Knights. And yeah, the Goblin Big Boss is about to fall against Luan. That 1v1 is happening over there. We do see a nice Fate of Buna, though, onto those Grail Knights. It's going to do some damage to them.
It certainly will. I mean, those Black Orcs probably will not be able to get out of this fight alive, but at least they will take a huge amount of Grail Knights with them, along with that Fate of Buna. But we do see here the kiting is real out of the Bretonian player. The Giant here almost dead. The Grail Knights and the Spearmen trapping him. The Giant over there now engaging some Spearmen, engaging some archers. But honestly, right now, Panda Warrior could just sacrifice a single unit of archers, allow them to die to the Giant, and then use all the other archers to fire on him, and that Giant will eventually die.
Yep, he's using the Spearmen as well to be a mutual, but they got routed off the field after the Giant vomited on them.
They did. Azag, really, the only orc on the left on the field right now, not much else left for him. A couple of giants still left, at least one giant. The Black Orcs basically all running away now. The Goblin Big Boss has had enough of this battle. His morale is very low, and he is not very powerful in the first place, so he's going to get out of there, live to fight another day. In the meanwhile, though, Azag probably going to die here in this ruck.
Oh yeah, well this is over right now. Yes, we have a giant left, but he should be routing anytime soon now. There he goes, he's off. And it's game.
There it is, guys. There is the game. Yeah, 6 archers will be good against anything when you win the cav battle. Exactly, Fugly Pump, very, very right there. And I think, again, when we think about list construction, guys, if you're taking giants, take some fucking cav. Take some serious cav forces. Because you're going to get shot to hell by peasants otherwise. And, if they take 6 peasants, you know for a fact that either their infantry line is going to be weak or you'll be able to take over their cavalry line. But I don't know. I mean, would you take the air boys out in favor of, say, a single unit of Orc Boar Boy Biggins or maybe 2 units of Orc Boar Riders?
If you have giants, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have just taken out the Doom Diver instead. Or
fair, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Doom Diver, yeah, that's probably fine, man. I mean, taking the Doom Diver out, you probably don't need the Doom Diver. We're not seeing it get a hugely significant number of kills, just 331 there. And, of course, kind of misused to a certain extent by Riggs and targeting odd choices.
Yeah, I mean, the Orc Rare Boys, they can target the Peasant Bowmen, and they will either kill Peasant Bowmen, or they will make the Peasant Bowmen shoot at them for a while. So,
fair.
Could work out in Greenskin's favor.
Yeah, exactly. Again, we'll get more and more, man. We'll get more and more of this. Like Diplomat's commenting on the kind of maybe some of the weaknesses of the format, and I think that's a fair point, Diplomat. I think it is fair. But again, because we're seeing lists that are trying to take advantage of strengths more than they are trying to shore up weaknesses, I think this list of Riggs probably would have had a chance not only against some of the other Bretonians, but against Panda Warrior in particular, if only he had a significant cavalry force that could hold a candle to these Grail Knights and also be able to eventually get in to the likes of these Peasant Bowmen.
Yep.